Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. So I was tagged in this by Theo, and his channel is Rekindled Reader. Now, Theo is a friend of mine, so this may sound biased, but I'm telling you right now, if you like content on YouTube about books, which I think you do because you're here, you gotta head over and subscribe to the Rekindled Reader right away, because Theo, he's pretty new at this, but guys, his content is just awesome. Like, it's still fun and feels familiar, but he puts a creative twist on stuff. It's very unique. He's such a smart guy, and his takes are so concise and slick. Like, I just am really enjoying his content. So if you subscribe now, it's a perfect time. You get to get on the ground level, because I'm telling you guys, his channel is going to blow up. And even now, even though he's new at this, he's so consistent that he has a great backlog of stuff for you to watch. So go subscribe to that and then come right back and finish this one. Okay, so this one is the 20 questions book tag. And initially when he tagged me, I thought, I think I've already done that one. But I looked back and the one that I've already done was 25 questions. And it was more of a get to know you kind of thing, like personal questions mixed in with book preferences. This one, it seems, is all about books, which is very exciting. I will let you guys know I'm not totally sure how this is going to come out because I haven't thought much about my answers. As I was watching Theo's video a little while ago, I was just taking notes, writing down the questions, and then I basically turned around and pushed record. So we'll see what we come up with. I hope you guys don't mind another tag video, but like I said in this video up here, I am trying to build my confidence back up, figure out what my recording schedule is going to be, and also I'm working on a new review format that I feel like is going to be a little more my style. So I appreciate you guys sticking around while I do these tag videos. And like I always say, I love tag videos. I think they're really fun because it gives you a chance to kind of interview yourself and ask questions that you may not think about very often, and you get to hear feedback from your friends, like when other people answer in the comments, or if one of my friends makes a video doing the same list of questions. It's just like having a conversation and going back and forth, asking each other about favorites and likes and dislikes. So I really do enjoy these types of videos. So thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's get cracking on these questions and see if we can get through them pretty quick. The first question is, how many books is too many books in a series? So I mean, I'm not the book police. I'm not here to tell you how many is too many. Preference-wise, I have been very much so enjoying trilogies and shorter series recently. I mean, I love The Wheel of Time. It has 15 books in it. I'm currently reading The Dark Tower with 7, so I'm definitely not opposed to big, huge series. But right now, I can't really think of any that are very appealing to me or that are like high priority on my TBR. One exception to the rule would definitely be The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb, and I wish more authors would take a cue from Queen Hobb, because what she has done is The Realm of the Elderlings is 16 books, and that sounds really, really intimidating, right? But what it is in actuality is it is one series, but there are multiple smaller series within the 16 books. So Farseer is a 3-book trilogy. Live Ship Traders is a 3-book trilogy. They go on like that to where you can just take little bites here and there. I'm hoping to very soon read the rest of The Realm of the Elderlings, and my plan is to read it all the way through with some stuff in between. But it's nice to know that if I get kind of tired of it or if I want a break, I don't have to feel like I've left something undone or it's looming over me. I can just read till the end of that particular trilogy and not feel like I'm totally like left with all this book guilt. Does anybody else have book guilt? Sometimes I feel that way. Like if I'm doing a read along that's just 1 book a month, sometimes I just want to plow through it and get it over with. And then knowing that even if I'm on schedule and even if I'm really enjoying myself, it still feels like it's looming over me, this book guilt. And so I feel like the way she has set that up kind of eliminates that problem. Another author that does this, and I'm very excited about this, and I hope he keeps building in this world, is Joe Abercrombie with The First Law. I mean, the first 3 books, they kind of are a trilogy of their own. There's the 3 standalones that you definitely can't skip and definitely build off of each other. And they are standalones, but they aren't optional. And then there's the 3-book trilogy after that with The Age of Madness. So I really, really enjoyed that format of like one series, one world, but having multiple properties within. The next question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I don't know. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the video to find out. hardcover or paperbacks. So I am somewhat of a collector. My book collection, as you can tell by looking behind me, is very hodgepodge. I have some beautiful books that I love. I have some hard to find books that I'm proud of, but mostly I have a lot of mumbo jumbo, jumbled up, whatever. I love used book shopping, and so that kind of leaves me with an eclectic look at the end. But when it comes to actually reading, I prefer a trade paperback. I just love that feel of that heavy floppy book. I like to be able to lay a book down and it flop open. I like my books to be malleable. So I do like a paperback, but those little stiff mass market paperbacks, they don't do it for me because they don't flop open. And I do enjoy a hardcover, but to me, it's just kind of cumbersome for reading. So I like to own hardcovers, and I do read from them sometimes, but my favorite to read from is a trade paperback for sure. The next question is favorite book, and this scares me to say it out loud because I have a hard time committing to like naming something my absolute favorite. But I will say that the first thing that popped in my mind as soon as I saw this question was Swan Song by Robert McCammon. Now, I just read this last month, and so has it really earned this spot? I don't know, but I will say the whole time I was reading this book, I would just be going, I think this might be my favorite book. I really think this might be my favorite book. Other contenders would definitely be It by Stephen King, 11/22/63 by Stephen King, or A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. These are some of my favorite books. I know I'm forgetting some. I should probably make a top 10 list at some time, but it will take me a month to make that list because it has absolute agony trying to narrow it down. It's so difficult for me. Ugh. This is the only question that might be more difficult for me than favorite book, and it's least favorite book. It is really difficult for me to pin down least favorite because I very rarely hate something. I can usually find at least something I liked about a book. But you know what? I really hate Dr. Seuss. I don't know if that's the type of answer you're looking for, but I can't find anything redeemable about those books. And they're just so beloved and everybody's favorite. And everybody loves Cat in the Hat and Thing 1, Thing 2, and Green Eggs and Ham. And I don't think there's anything cute about it. I don't think it's endearing. I don't like the art style. I don't like the rhyming. I've never, as a kid or as a babysitter or as a mom, I've never understood or enjoyed Dr. Seuss. And when people hear that, they're like, how do you not like Dr. Seuss? I just really hate it. This next one says love triangle, yes or no? Personally, no. In my books, I'm gonna say no, because in theory, it's not something that bothers me because it's not implausible, but I think I've yet to see it executed in a way I enjoyed or didn't find obnoxious, because typically love triangle trope goes hand in hand with my other least favorite trope, which is the absolutely unbelievably unrealistic miscommunication. The inability to communicate with other people just for the sake of furthering the plot, thickening the plot, twisting the love triangle. I cannot stand that trope, and it happens all the time, it seems like. So because those two tropes typically go hand in hand, I have never actually enjoyed a love triangle, but I feel like it could work if it were done right. So I'm gonna go no on love triangle in general. The next question is the most recent book that you just couldn't finish. And I don't DNF a lot of books, but I think the one that I most recently just absolutely could not finish would have to be probably the third Poppy Ward book. I do not remember what the title of that particular book is, but I figured out pretty quick that I lost interest in the series and was not going to finish the book. And I actually sold those books. I traded them in at the used bookstore. So, I mean, I'm not losing sleep over it. Like I said, I typically don't DNF books because it does feel like unfinished business, but that one I don't lose any sleep over quitting that one. The last book you recommended to somebody, that would be Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. I recommended it to my mom. She read it already and she absolutely loved it. And I knew she would because it's a great book, and I think almost anybody would really enjoy that one. The next question is, what is the oldest book you have read? For me, I think it would be Frankenstein, because that was written in 1818 by Mary Shelley, and that is super old. Like, that is over 200 years old. Oh my gosh. That was a 5-star read for me. I've read it twice now, and I think I even own like 3 physical editions of it because it's just very special to me, and I tend to collect things in a strange way. Here's a quick tip too. If you listen to audiobooks and you are subscribed to Audible, there is a free version of Frankenstein available for, Audible subscribers. And it's so good, you guys. It is read by, what is that guy's name? Oh, he plays Matthew on Downton Abbey, and he was the Beast in the new Beauty and the Beast remake. It's Dan something, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I don't remember his name, but he does a really, really good job with this audio narration, and it's totally free with your subscription. Next question is the newest book you've read. And I do think the most recent book that I read was Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Ruocchio. Very good. Next up is favorite author, and this is another one that is very tough for me. But if I'm going by an author that has written the most books that I've rated 5 stars, it would probably be Stephen King. And George R.R. Martin would be a very close second. And I would say Robin Hobb at this point would probably be in 3rd place. And I imagine that, I don't actually imagine her rising higher than that spot, but that's nothing against her. But I am excited to read more of her stuff for the rest of this year, because I don't see anyone taking George R.R. Martin's spot. And I feel like he kind of shares the #1 spot with Stephen King, if that's a thing. I don't know, it's just too hard for me to pick. Buying or borrowing books. For me, it is definitely buy. Like I said, I'm kind of a collector, and by collector, I probably mean hoarder sometimes. We go to the library a lot. We are patrons of the library. I use the library app for digital reads and for audiobooks, and I have no problem borrowing those. But if I like something, I really do like to own it. So unfortunately for me, I am such a consumer, and I just buy. The next question says, what is a book that you dislike that everyone else seemed to love? And I think I'm going to go same answer as Theo on this one and go with Murderbot. And I only read 2 of those, Murderbot by Martha Wells. And on one hand, it says that everyone else seems to like. I don't actually know a lot of people who love this series, but it wins all kinds of awards, and on Goodreads there's like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews. Personally, it seems pretty split with the people I know. Like, some people really like it, and just as many are like, I didn't get it. I was team I don't get it. But there's got to be something there that I'm just missing, because apparently these books are very, very well loved. I just didn't get it. Bookmarks or dog ears. So I love bookmarks because I kind of collect them. Again, hoarder, okay, we get it. But I have been known to dog ear a book. Now, let me specify. I will not just dog ear any book. Like, if it's at all nice, I'm not going to dog ear it. But for example, my copy of A Game of Thrones that I've read over and over again, it's ratty, it's tattered, it has dog ear folding pages, it has highlights, it has me writing in the margins, it has sticky notes in it. I have a few books like that that are so well loved that I want to permanently mark all of my love on it. I do have some books like that. So I will dog ear a book, but it has to be a pretty specific circumstance. For the most part, I feel like that's just kind of rude and disrespectful to your books, especially if you're trying to have nice things, right? So I do love bookmarks, so I'm definitely team bookmark. But it seems like most of the time I end up using just like a nail file or a piece of mail or something like that. For having so many nice bookmarks, I probably only use them like 30% of the time. A book you can always reread. I'll go with A Game of Thrones. Like I mentioned, I have an old floppy copy of A Game of Thrones, which is book 1 of A Song of Ice and Fire, and I've read it several times, and sometimes I just pick it up and read a couple chapters. It always feels right. Another book I do that too is The Blade Itself, which is book 1 of The First Law. I do that with Fellowship of the Rings. What else have I done that with a lot? It's usually book ones because I just absolutely love book ones. I love beginnings. I love getting to know characters, and I just love all of the anticipation that comes with a book one, and rereading a book one is just a really special way to remember how that book made you feel the first time. Can you read while listening to music? No, absolutely not. Like I said, I mostly audiobook, and when I'm not audiobooking, I like to do immersive reading, which for me means matching my audio speed to my reading speed and reading physically while listening to the audio. I do read without audio, but I cannot have any other type of background noise while I'm reading. So this is why I don't get a lot of sheerly physical reading time, because if there's a TV on in the background or music or somebody talking or one of my kids are in and out, I get really distracted with physical only reading. So music just is a big no-go for me when reading, unfortunately. I see people making these playlists and stuff and like soundtracks to go with books, and that concept is very, very appealing to me, but it just doesn't work. I'm just too distracted by anything when I'm trying to read. The next question is one POV or multiple? And I think this is a great question because I've kind of come around to both, but if I have to stick with one, it's going to be multiple POVs. That's my ultimate favorite. In the style of like Faithful and the Fallen books or A Song of Ice and Fire, where you're just rotating through the characters. So you get a Tyrion only POV chapter, and then you get a Sansa chapter, and then you get a Catelyn chapter. And so you're rotating through the characters and their POVs, one chapter dedicated to one character. That's my favorite style. And for a long time, I did not think I liked single POV style, or especially like retrospective single POV. But I've been reading more of that lately, and I think seeing it done really well makes a big difference. But like the Sun Eater books are written that way, and I think it's awesome. Most recently though, I was impressed by the Warlord Chronicles, which is all written from one POV, and he's retelling his story as an old man. And I thought it was done so well, and I just enjoyed it. So I'm definitely open to all different kinds of POV styles, but if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with multiple because it's just my favorite. Do you read a book in one setting or over multiple days? Well, that depends on a lot of stuff, but I think it's been a very long time since I've actually read one whole book in one setting. I think the last time I did that was, well, a couple of months ago, I did a reread of The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and I did that in one setting, but that's basically a novella, I think. So no, I read pretty big books, so very, very rarely do I read a book in one day, much less one setting. And the last question is, who do you tag? And I think I'm just gonna cop out here and not personally tag anybody, because if I'm being honest, I don't know how long this tag has been around, and I don't want to tag people that have already been tagged in it or tag people who just don't do tag videos. But I mean this so sincerely. If you make videos about books and you want to do this tag, please do it. And then let me know so I can watch your version. And as always, if you are watching this video and you want to copy and paste a list of questions and answer them in the comments, I think that would be very fun. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.